Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of iCast Fireball, an actual play 5e D&D adventure where we go through the campaign Skulls and Shackles. My name is Tom, your DM for this adventure, and around the table we have
Lieutenant Ignis Harkon,
Maximus Shans,
Chozo Lebec,
and Buster Bilgewater. I wasn't sure if Ned was going to do both.
Oh, yeah.
Well, last we left our adventurers, we had them in the first world, going through the forest, and with some very important and very directed roles for survival. This endless forest, magical forest, they were able to navigate their way through, and with some scouting from above, was able to find a town nearby. A town which Chozo had some knowledge of, so they veered off to try to get their bearings, get a little bit of understanding so that they can see and find possibly where Ataraxia is. Now, as they veered off into this town, it was a bustling. There was so much stuff here. Stuff meaning vendors. There were hags all over the place. I think I mentioned, a dozen or so hags?
A baker's dozen.
Yeah, a baker's dozen of hags. There were people trying to wheel and deal and get these newcomers to make a deal as well. They were looking at Tim and Isabel pretty greedily as they were kind of clutching onto each other. And all through the chaos, Max found a familiar color, a familiar headband. And as the crew ran over there, they found their friend, their captain, and their lost boy, Ataraxia, who is with his mom. And that's where we jump in on this week's episode of iCast Fireball. So, as the four of you stand amidst the hustle and bustle of the witch market, a caravan that moves throughout the first world and throughout a multitude of realms, you see and almost feel this small bubble, kind of socially protecting you from the wave of people just walking by and animals as they just part ways, not wishing to disturb you as the four of you lock eyes. As a fifth individual walks up, she goes, Atty, who is it? As a woman, a human woman, to the side of Ataraxia, and saying what did you say, darling?
Yeah, these are the people that I told you about from back in Galarian.
She looks up and she goes, oh, bless my stars. You three were, and she has a basket and she quickly gives it to Ataraxia and grasps each of you, shaking each of your hands individually. She goes, hi, it's just a pleasure, just absolute pleasure to meet you and to see you and to be able to see you face to face. Hello and hi and thank you for watching out for my boy. Well, I couldn't.
It's really you, kid? Buster gets down on his knees.
Yeah, in the flesh, it's really you. You're not a kid. It's really you.
Buster. Yeah, I'm Buster.
Where'd your staff go?
Broke it. It's only been a couple days for us, a week.
Okay,
most.
That's cool. That's good. That's cool.
I didn't. Sure. He's like, he almost doesn't care that they're in the middle of a busy street. He's just kind of like, you're okay though. Should we get back to the chalupa stand? Get out all these people's way.
Yeah, of course. I mean, please, follow me. We can chat there. We can talk there, and with a little bit more privacy, of course. Come on.
Buster follows for sure.
follow, yeah.
Yeah, rushing through the crowd, ducking in and out between all of these crazy people, and occasionally a hag will come up to me and I'll like have a quick like hurried conversation before sort of shooing them off in some direction, heading towards the chalupa stand.
Max is trying to take it all in, and especially any changes, noticeable changes for Ataraxia. Is Ataraxia looking the same as we left him? Is he looking older? Is he missing a hoof? What does Max and the rest of the party see when we're looking at Ataraxia?
Insight check or investigation?
Let's just go with general observations for now.
Okay.
As you go to the chalupa stand and following Ataraxia, there is a noticeable difference in Ataraxia himself. As you recall, the water spirit seemed to have said that, although time is a little bit fuzzy in the first world, that it was a year ago or so when that kid came through here. And so you're like, all right, has it been a year or so? Well, Ataraxia does look a little taller. He does look maybe a little less lankier in some areas. His voice might be unchanged for the most part, but maybe a little bit more sure, confident. I'll have everybody roll an insight check here now.
Does that include Chozo, I suppose?
Chozo, as he's following behind, sure thing.
Chozo has terrible insight.
So does Ignis.
All right, let's go around the table then. Chozo, let's start with you.
12.
12, great. Ignis, any better?
3.
3. Just a little worse. Just a little.
Just a touch.
Ignis being like, who's this woman?
Buster got an 18.
Buster,
Ooh.
18, and Max,
1.
a 1.
Nice.
Well, I rolled a 1. If
There you go.
add the number, it's a 4.
There you go.
Still better than me.
Got better
and
than
I didn't
Ignis.
roll a 1.
Got better than
Buster is dialed in.
Yes. Which I feel like is thematically the most appropriate person in the party to be
He's-
the most dialed in right now.
He has stopped looking for dangers, and he's just absolutely honed in on the kid.
And Ned, why don't you go ahead and describe a few of the changes that Buster might have seen on Ataraxia's face, his demeanor, and how he handles himself since they last have seen each other.
Yeah, I think sort of on the more base level, like the kind of stuff that Chozo would notice with having a 12 on his insight check, it would be like, okay, this kid looks like he is feeling anxious about something. And what Buster would notice, kind of a step above that, like you're picking up on, he's talking more quickly. He is talking a little bit less confidently. If you had to guess, you would think that maybe Ataraxia is feeling guilty.
But that would be weird if the curse was still involved.
And so that is something that, with an 18, Buster picks up on even further, being like, all right, he might be feeling guilty. Wait, what? He must be feeling something.
I won't say anything. Buster's not going to, try and out anything or like that. He's just going to absolutely clock it and I think look for more. Look for more clues.
Mm-hmm.
Buster also is looking to see if that little dragon thing is somewhere around at some point.
Yeah, I think maybe the additional clues you might pick up on with that 18 is, if you think back to the last moment when you saw Ataraxia before this, he was so excited, he was so unidirectionally minded of hey, we have a way to get to my mom. And you went back to the Fawns and they're like, oh yeah, the Fawns told Ataraxia that this was a one-person, one-way kind of situation.
Yeah, that he knew he was ditching us to some degree.
Yeah, and if the kid has been starting to feel emotions, and over the past year, this is something that's just been sitting and stewing with him.
Okay.
You approach the chalupa stand, and Azatikia, the female that you see, she kind of gets up to the stand, and there's nobody up there, and you're like, oh, is she gonna order some? And then she just walks right through the stand, as there's a little bit of illusion in one particular area, gets behind, throws an apron on, and she goes, you all familiar with Fey food then?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's frankly, it's been so long since I've been to Galarian. I'm not quite sure what else to make, so I apologize. It's one of the only things I remember. How little Addy here, he can't get enough of it for sure. But
Yeah, I mean, you guys are in luck. We just managed. We got an artificer in here to fix the slushy machine, so we can get you some Baja Blasts if you want.
good heavens, living out Ned's fantasy over here.
And yeah, Ataraxia also just leaps up onto the sort of countertop area and then into the back, puts on a visor sideways on his head, and starts pulling some Slurpees for everybody.
Ataraxia, go and roll me an acrobatics check.
Ah, yes. Wonderful.
Sorry,
Delightful.
jumping over the side there.
Double character sheeting it over there, Ned.
Yep.
Yes.
Just where he wants to be.
A 15 acrobatics.
15, okay. So you obviously know to avoid the illusory area. And
You know
as
what? Actually, I'm going to use my Satyr ancestry to add 1d8 feet to my high jump, just for fun.
Oh, there you go.
That's a 3.
Okay, 3 extra feet. So you like try to you slide up, and then you're like hit, and then you're like ugh, and you clatter to the ground with your hooves, and you're like grab the things, and you're like, in your mind you're like, I don't know if I nailed that, but
Yeah. And like Chozo walks up next to Buster and kind of elbows you and is like, "This child, he seems nervous."
Yeah. I don't know if he ever intended on seeing us ever again, you know? So,
Is that what was wrong with him? Why is he acting like this?
I don't know, but I don't want to force anything here. I'm just glad we found him.
you hear the sounds of some food being made, and Itikia, she calls out, and for each of your, are you more of a green sauce person, or are you more of like a red sauce person? And as when there's no response, she just does the house sauce, which is white sauce, while little Addy, Ataraxia, he brings out all of your drinks, while doing some general chat about like the stand, and Itikia being like, well, you know, we're quite lucky to get a stand like this. It's pretty prime location, if you know, and it's quite uncommon. But we're it's nice to be able to fill our days, you know, with something other than what we were doing before. Yeah. So
What was that?
Oh, well, you know, basically being imprisoned and waiting upon the whims of just one of the eldest, if you know, and but now we still wait upon his whims, but at least we are not chained to a wall. So, you know, it's a little better.
Are we able to, you kind of look at Ataraxia and maybe side-eye Max and be like, are we able to speak freely here?
He looks over and sees one of the hags listening nearby and goes up and shoos her off in a different direction, like points out an easy mark in the crowd, and the hag goes sort of cackling off.
And she goes,
Yep. Just like that.
Yep.
There you go, Mickey. There you go, Mickey.
Just like that. No sound
Yeah.
effect needed. Right there.
One take, Thomas.
One take, Thomas.
Yeah, Ataraxia leans in close and is like, "Okay, so, so I was cursed. Remember that whole situation? Turns out it's the Lantern King. Lantern King's the guy who did it. So I found him. I found the Lantern King. My mom found him first. She showed up here trying to get some answers about how maybe my curse could be broken, and the Lantern King didn't like that. You know, he's that trickster. He loves playing pranks. Chained her up in a dungeon, and I made a bad deal. And I mean, now neither of us are chained up in a dungeon, but we do happen to be bound to this traveling market. as a result of that situation.
What was your deal?
What's your deal, dude?
What's your deal, dude? What
He
deal did
cured-
you make
he
with the
cured your
Lantern King?
curse.
Yeah, in order for the curse to be removed, I mean, just, servitude, be a clown for the Lantern King, amuse him. With Schadenfreude, am I right?
Why would you make that deal? Why would you do that?
And Ataraxia just clams up and says, you nacho fries? Anybody? They're permanent. They're not leaving the menu anymore.
This kid's up to date with his knowledge of Fey food.
Hey, first world is the playtest area for all the food.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
anyway.
and not even waiting for anybody's reply. Yeah, nacho fries for everybody. Gets up and heads into the back of the stand.
Something's up here, Max.
This is weird, right? Yeah.
There's a lot of things off about this.
Look, we found him, right? But I think he still needs our help.
We wanted to find him to make sure he was free. This is not free.
Did we want to find him to make sure he's free or to bring him back?
We just want to make sure he's safe.
I just feel like you ever had a friend that you haven't seen in a long time, and you think it's going to be a great reunion, and then you realize you're more of an imposition than a welcome.
Can I turn to his mom and say something to his mom? Well, Ataraxia, is Ataraxia back yet, or can I?
Well, I think Chozo at this point, big ol' slurp on the straw, puts his slushy down. It is, as I recall, the three of you were not exactly in the best mood when I found you. You were a little angry at this child, no?
No, not at him. I wasn't angry at him.
Does he know that?
I don't know what he knows. Miss Ataraxia's mom.
Yes? Yes, Buster. Yes.
Yeah. When the kid found you, did he have a pretty rough go of it? Getting to you?
Well, I would say so. It was pretty rough for him, I would say. And going through the first world, the first world travel certainly isn't easy at all. But getting here, it just seemed like there was some unknown, or rather some suffering that he'd been having for years and years and years that didn't really quite make itself known. It was almost just like driving him. I know he was cursed to be able to not feel, of course, but when that curse was removed, it was really bad for quite some time there. And thank goodness that we had each other. That we both were able to work on things and help each other. But he had a rough time. He had a rough time getting here, going on here.
Do you? These kind of eyes Max and Ignis a little bit, and Chozo too. Says, do you guys need help out of this? You in danger right now?
Your in your hushed tones and whispering, right? She just kind of my servitude was for 50 years. I am 11, 13 years into that sentence, and I had to leave and abandon my infant child as a result. And now that I've been reunited with him, to find that he has been tricked into a similar deal.
Didn't you come here to fix that in the first place?
I did.
How did you end up in
did.
servitude for 50 years with nothing to show for it?
Buster, you try making a deal with a god of chaos.
I considered myself a wise woman, a very crafty individual herself, and I was a bard, for heaven's sakes. But the Lantern King is just... You can't underestimate the power and the craftiness of the Lantern King himself. It's, my pride was my downfall, and So, yes, I thought that I could, as a mother, driven by love, driven by devotion, could find the way to release my son's curse, and yet cursed him with a motherless life. So, only one of definitely my top 5 worst moments and decisions I've made in my life, so.
He's a good kid.
I'm delighted to hear you say that, knowing you spent some significant time with him compared to the rest of his life, childhood, so.
I think we're pretty...
Nacho fries.
Hey.
Yes, Atty. Chalupas are almost done. As she shuffles off to finish up your orders, which you didn't ask for.
Max this whole time has been taken aback, just very not even taken aback, just very taken aback seat, if you will, very much observing, thinking. And at this point, he'll walk up to Ataraxia. Captain?
Yeah, oh man, that's a blast from the past, am I right?
Yep, last from about a week ago. On our side, how are you feeling?
And Ataraxia looks back towards the stand where his mom is finishing up the chalupas, and he reaches into his satchel and he pulls out what looks kind of like a theater mask and puts it on his face for a little bit. It's got a big smile etched on the front of it, and takes in a couple big breaths and then takes it off and says, yeah, talking about feelings sucks. It's weird. It's hard. But what I've discovered working through things with my mom is that it only helps in the long run to talk about feelings. And the feelings that people do talk about, especially in the stories and the songs, they talk about the big emotions. They talk about anger and sorrow and fear. And when the curse was removed, I finally sort of understood what it meant. I finally understood, Lieutenant, what your anger means, and Max, what your sorrow means, and Buster, what your fear means. And the thing, though, is one of the feelings that nobody ever really talked about was regret. And I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that to be the thing that would hurt the most. There are so many things that I regret about how things happened. I regret thinking that I was a good fit to be a captain of a pirate ship. I regret trying to tell you guys how to feel when I didn't even know what it felt like to feel the things that you were feeling. And more than anything, I regret going through that portal when I knew what was going to happen. I was just so it was so exciting, and I made a mistake, and part of me wasn't even sure that the three of you would even stick together after I left. I didn't know what was going to happen. So I've been wondering for an entire year whether I would see any of you again and how I would feel when I did see all of you again. And it's a lot. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling, Max. Thank you for asking.
And as you look at Ataraxia sharing this information, there's just this wide range of emotion that just coming through from what he's saying, and on his face that you can see. And you see his mom from the kitchen out of the corner of her eye, just turning every once in a while with sadness, but also with a little bit of pride and with a little smile on her face as well. Just a soft smile as she hears Ataraxia actually talking through and acknowledging this and expressing this to you specifically, the three of you, giving all of you as much time and space as you need. But there's definitely a larger awareness, as you just heard from Ataraxia, as he is describing everything that he's feeling and gone through.
Captain, we have regrets too. believe it or not. Sorry. We put a child into a leadership position to make choices that most children shouldn't have to make. We put a lot on you without realizing the echoes that would come after. I don't know for everyone, but I speak for myself that I regret that. I will say, though, you didn't feel nothing the time you were our captain. You felt bliss. And I don't know if it was merely the dice when we rolled to pick you as captain, but that was the one feeling all three of us were missing. And in each situation we faced, you showed us a way to feel that. Now, that doesn't negate or take away from the horrible emotional trauma that you've been through. Sorry, I'm not laughing at that. I'm nervous. But your curse blessed us tremendously. And I want to thank you for that leadership. You gave us bliss.
Well, now we can do it again. Who wants some nacho fries, am I right?
Buster stands up and he takes his hat off and puts it down on the table. He goes, "Nah. No, you don't got to do it again." And he's gonna step forward and get down in front of Ataraxia, put his hands on his shoulders, and say, "Look, everybody did wrong. We were a broken crew. You were a broken captain. None of us were in the right place. We all needed each other in some way or fashion. All I know is I'm really glad." And he kind of, I don't know if Ataraxia lets him, does he shy away from the touch? Because he won't, if he does, but like...
No, he'll let you go in.
Buster puts his hands on his face, and he just goes like, "I just know it's really good to see you, kid."
Instant sob.
And I just give him a really big hug. "We missed you a lot."
And you can sense that like he's trying to come up with words and having a hard time. And eventually just like, I wasn't sure if I was worth being missed, but thanks for saying it. I'm glad to see you guys too. It has been an insane year for me.
Our week's been pretty crazy too, just in all honesty.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Tim, how's it going? I didn't think I'd ever see you again.
Hey, fun, Tim. We met a goddess. We fought through an army of Githyanki, run by a lich queen, I think. And then,
who's this incredibly attractive and capable birdman that you've got with you?
As they were kind of talking and as we're kind of going through, and Chozo's probably walking up and, I'm Chozo Lebec, I'm a French bird. Yeah.
Yeah, peacocking in front of the admirer.
Without his joints and all, Arrested Development, love.
Max is also realizing there's one person who's very quiet in the whole conversation, and he's going to look over at Ignis to try and get a sense of her own insight, for lack of a better term.
Ignis has been standing at the back of the group, even back behind Tim and Isabel, as everyone's kind of pressed forward closer to this stand. She has stood apart, and she's stood kind of sideways, like almost perpendicular to the stand, almost like she's watching for people on the outside, but really she almost can't take in all of the emotion that's being displayed before her, because so much of her life has been spent with just conceal, don't feel, you shouldn't feel, you can't feel, and the things that she did have both like metaphorically and literally scarred her. And so to see such open emotion, so far a lot of the emotion that we as a crew have shown each other has been with some level of aggression or contention underneath it. Even our resolve has somehow been kind of in that camp of anger or agitation. And so to have this moment of sincerity with Ataraxia, who was her like singular goal, she genuinely like can't take all of it in. and she's kind of standing apart of it because she doesn't know both how to absorb it and how it's making her feel. And so she's standing apart, trying to be in that mode of I can't let this in, and yet it is seeping into her. And so she is purposefully standing apart and allowing those with that speak the language of empathy to have their moment with Ataraxia.
There you go.
And that was when I just so gallantly saved everybody. I cast the final spell that activated the portal that led us here to the first world.
Believe it or not, he used to have shoulders and knees.
Oh, well, I mean, it seems like you might be one of those seekers of the forgotten, right? What do you call yourselves?
A binder. Yes, you.
Binder. I've heard of you.
You
That's
have
right,
heard the stories on the docks, it seems.
I mean, I was a collector of stories for certain. It's something that Ataraxia and I shared in common. It seems like, although Ataraxia has taken a new path since then, but that's as a seeker of stories, like can't follow after your mother your whole life, And as she sets down the chalupas in front of you, the flaky shell around the succulent meat that's rising up. She goes, I tried to add a little Galarian to it. I'm not sure I did a good job. I realized you, and she points to you, Max, you might have wanted something a little bit weird, so I put a little something extra in there for you.
Why would I?
You're a monster slayer, right? Bon appetit.
Got a little
She just
monster
walks
in there.
away.
I feel like that was judgment. That was judgment right there.
How comforting.
Max, as you look down with your passive perception, you're kind of like now instantly like, what the? You see like your chalupa, like you go to grab it and you notice like one side of it is moving a little bit before it just like settles, and you're like,
It moves? No, well, if your food don't move.
just a little bit.
Everybody's favorite Dragonborn adage.
If your food don't move, it ain't worth eating. If you move to food.
Most of the time, your food should not still be moving when you eat it.
Lots of layers happening here.
Buster, you've picked up your chalupa, started eating it. Ignis, I don't know if you've started eating it. I'm sure Chozo's absolutely started eating this at this point in time, for sure.
Yeah.
Canonically, Ignis does not partake of the first world food.
Chozo's taken one glance at Ignis's face and reached for her chalupa before he reached for his own chalupa.
There you go. Chozo's like, now I have 2 chalupas.
And I don't think Buster's clocked Ignis at all. But Buster does note the changing his path thing. That definitely like pricked in his brain, but he's not gonna poke yet. I don't wanna. We just got a lot out of Ataraxia, and it seems like he's kind of
Raw.
Yeah. Buster takes a bite and he goes, "Hey, this is really good. Is it lamb?
We think it's beef.
Yeah, beef. Oh,
Yeah,
great.
we think it's beef.
Sure.
It was sold to us by some people who brought it from Galarian. And
cool.
like when I tasted it, it tasted mostly like beef.
Probably not grass fed. Can't choose it again. Yeah.
Max, what's your AC, Max?
My AC?
Oh,
She was trying to kill me. No, 17.
that's a Constitution throw. Different.
17. All right. I don't know. Are you picking this thing up? You're just leaving it there?
I'm eating.
Okay. Before you can take a bite,
If it don't move, it ain't food.
you're like, well, all right. You go to take a bite, and as you open up on your tongue, the chalupa opens its mouth and chops down on your tongue. And
mimic?
It starts to eat you. It's a mimic, and it starts to eat you.
You mother.
So that's the first point of damage. The other one is a natural 20 on the second bite on you.
What the hell?
And so it's going to start doing some
I
damage
attack
to you.
my food.
As all good monster slayers do.
I attack my food. And I roll. What is this?
It's
I'll use my
spicy
scimitar. 23.
A scimitar?
Yeah. Do I hit on a 23?
23 is a hit. I'm still rolling your damage, sir.
No. Well, I'm rolling your damage, sir. That's a 7 damage to the chalupa mimic.
You take 16 points of damage.
Holy hell!
Max, what are you doing? He's always been a loud eater. I don't know why. Eat your food normal, man. What's going on?
I'm gonna defeat you.
I'd like to imagine that Max just kind of pulls back from his seat while this fight is happening.
16?
And so, Jacob, we won't play by play it right now, but there's gonna be some back and forth here between this mimic and you as you
I
are
win.
engaged.
I win.
You will eventually win.
win.
Most likely. So
Victory
while
makes it taste sweet.
Buster is making these comments about Ataraxia,
He's just
and
like in the
Ignis,
background, like fighting
Exactly.
for his life.
Exactly. He's like there's a hag that
That's-
comes by who like the mimic
Which
jumps
Spider-Man
on
movie
and like
is that? When Stan Lee like has his headphones in at the library and like Spider-Man's like fighting in the library
that's
behind
the
him.
first
the
one.
Amazing Spider-Man 1.
Yeah. Did Wander ever find you? A little dragon. I sent a little dragon to help you if he could. His named him. I think his name's Wander, but.
I think it would be really cool if Wander found us, in fact.
Did he?
Let's roll.
Of the course of a year. What am I rolling? Am I rolling?
Yeah, let's have you roll a percentile die here.
Ooh.
I would say a course of a year. It's a big first world, though. A lot of obstacles.
I did give him his scent at the very least.
I'd say
right?
anything between a 1 to 25% Wander would have found him. It's a 25%
golly.
chance. So 1 to 25.
Here we go.
While Josh is rolling this, a hag is walking by and the mimic sprouts another pseudopod and tries to jump onto her while the hag just her hand and the pseudopod turns to gray ash and dust and the mimic cries out. "Ah!" And Max, you're like,
Yeah. And Ataraxia and his mom are both looking over at the hag, like laughing, ha 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 ha, pointing, and the hag like gives a nod and tallies something down on like a clipboard. And Ataraxia is going to walk up to Max and cast Cure Wounds on you. And just be like, huh, our tithe to the Lantern King has been paid for the day.
That chalupa's chomploop at its last.
Oh my gosh.
I will eat the chalupa.
and it's absolutely mimic flesh, not a chalupa.
Too bad, I'm eating
So
it.
go ahead,
Victory tastes
Buster,
sweet.
roll a percentile die here.
36.
36. That is above a 25, so unfortunately, Wander did not find Ataraxia in that time frame.
Sorry, kid. Really didn't want you to be alone.
I mean, I haven't been alone. I've had my mom. It's been great. We're hoping to get back to Symphonia back in Galarian someday. But it's going to be a while before we pay off this debt. You know, Max. That is a 2nd level Cure Wounds. By the way, you are going to regain 15 hit points.
I'm only down 1 then. I just have one hit point for my max, and that's my pride. That took a little hit.
Chozo, does a being like the Lantern King, does their reach extend beyond the first world?
It certainly can. The greatest difficulty would be finding a way to even sever your friend from this plane without invoking the Lantern King's ire. I am sure there are some contingencies he has placed upon the situation. But I've sweet-talked more powerful things before.
How long is your servitude of the deal you made with the Lantern King? Your mother said 50 years. What's yours?
Well, yeah, she had finished 13 years of her servitude, and so we just split the difference between the rest of it, you know? So between the two of us, it's been 1 year, so we've served 2 years, so it's only another math in my brain, Ned's brain, real quick.
16? No, 18.
I'm going
36
to
years, 18.
pull up a calculator, 35.
18 and
it's
a
going
half
to be
each.
18.
Yeah. That's what I said. That's what I said. I
16
said
for five.
18. I said 18.
Well, say it a little louder, Joshua.
We've paid off one of the years since we've been here, so it's 17 and a half now for both of us together.
Okay. That's that's not too long, but it's also a lot of time.
Yeah, that's like...
He was the one who made the deal. He made the deal with someone stronger than him. Maybe he should have thought twice before doing that.
Easy, Ignis.
And Ataraxia is going to kind of pause at this point, and he's been kind of, laughing and joking and having a good time with Max and Buster, and looks over at Ignis and looks down at his hands, and you can see in his satchel he's got a whole bunch of these carved theater masks, and he's holding one that is just a scowl of rage, and he looks back up at Ignis and says, you can tell me if you're mad at me. It's okay. You can let me know.
Ignis says, I'm not mad at you. But without an insight roll, it's very clear she is very angry at you. In a way that, she hasn't even admitted to herself how angry she is at you. I'm not mad at you. We found you. I'm glad. But you put yourself in servitude.
I'm glad. I'm very happy right now.
You're still happy I am. Yeah, she doesn't also, almost the opposite, the foil of Ataraxia, that she doesn't know how to feel anything outside of this anger that she has been holding on to. It's been the only thing driving her forward, and she's been using that as her motivation, and now that she's, at the end of that, she, doesn't know what to do with her anger now.
We didn't say we were going to find him, though. That wasn't the goal. I remember you told me, and Buster's airing this in front of the whole table, in front of Ataraxia, everyone goes, you told me we're going to save him. I don't think the work's done yet, Ignis.
He was the one who made his choice. He made his choice to come here. He made his choice to leave us. He made his choice for his mother over himself. Maybe we should leave him to the Lantern King. As she, looks right at Ataraxia.
Buster stands up. I'm getting kind of sick of it, Ignis. You got a problem, and it's not with Ataraxia. I don't know if you heard me last time I said this. You're serving a bad god.
Oh!
She'll also stand. Apparently she was sitting
That's
before.
great.
She's going to stand now, too.
She sits down to stand
As
while
well,
Max
she
is
sat
eating
down
the
to
remains of the
stand back
mimic.
up.
Max eating the remains of the mimic, just like
With his
I love
tongue
the
hanging
idea.
out the
The two
other
of them
side.
stand up, and you just see Max dive in the background as he's.
No, Max is listening, obviously.
Yeah.
I think you think you're mad at Ataraxia, or at this situation. I don't know what you were expecting us to find, but we came here, and he looks at Ataraxia and goes, "We came here to save you, and your mom, and I'm still for that mission. Not so we can have a captain, not so you can do something for us. He did enough. What do you want out of this, Ignis? What do you want?"
As Buster has been speaking, she starts to take these really deep breaths. When your chest starts heaving, it's that emotion building up in you. And this moment she goes, "I don't want to feel this way."
If we are airing our grievances... And Chozo has been kind of kicked back this entire time. He's got his claws up on the table. He's just sipping at his Slurpee. Ignis, you have never wanted me to be here, but I admire you. You are a good fighter. You are a capable person. I wish you were a better friend. Ignis, I hope that you learn how to accept life's kindnesses and the people who will offer them to you, because otherwise... I worry that you will be miserable for the rest of your days. And, Volterra, I have worked with powers such as this. take some time to seriously consider what she is really giving back to you. Because I have met powers from most every plane, and I assure you, just because something is real and powerful does not mean it deserves to be worshipped, if it takes more than it gives. Remembered, perhaps acknowledged, but I'd encourage you to save your devotion for those who show you that they deserve it. Gesture towards Buster, gesture towards Max.
She'll look at Chozo. The first time I showed somebody mercy for their devotion, that's how I got this scar across my face. To remind me to never show that kind of mercy again. And then we did. And Ataraxia left us. He took us all the way up that mountain knowing he was going to betray us. And then we came here to save him, and he's already put himself back into servitude. When do you stop feeling like these people are going to betray you? We've given everything to Ataraxia, and here he is in servitude again. When do you start feeling bliss? When do you stop feeling like you hate everything in the world?
And you feel a pair of small hands reach out to your arms, to your forearms. Ignis, you start feeling bliss after you let yourself start feeling anything at all. And it might take a while to get there. It sucks. It's hard, but I've been through it. I know at least how I did it. I could be here for you while you do it.
As Ignis looks at him, she'll look down at the bag, and seeing him have put that smile across his face before, she reaches down into the bag, and her hands graze across the scowl that he had before, and her fingers slide past it, and she grabs out a different mask and puts it on her face, and it's one of weeping. A sad comedia. Because underneath all that anger, it's really just sadness.
Yeah, Ataraxia just nods and keeps nodding, and then just puts his arms around you.
And there's that intense connection that everybody feels the moment Ignis initiates putting on the mask. Initiating one step forward into feeling anything other than what she has been. And that connection with Ataraxia to embrace this moment, to embrace her and what at least what she's feeling is a big moment for the crew. And it's a moment that brings a bit of pause, brings a bit of soberness to it. But Max, at the end of that moment.
To give me context before I do possibly what I was thinking of doing, is there like a backside to the stand, like an out of the way, like kind of like where the trash goes or whatever it might be?
You can leave the scene and go investigate.
Well, after this has kind of died down a little bit, like where it's kind of people get back to eating and maybe Buster starts having a conversation with, either Ataraxia or his mom or both or anything, Max will telepathically speak into Ignis's mind.
Lieutenant, follow me.
And he'll kind of gesture out and kind of walk a little bit out to find like obviously we're in a market, but more a secluded spot. Like, again, kind of the backside of the stand, away from necessarily the eyes and ears of the rest of the party.
So as she's walking out, you just hear Buster go, no, like an actual pirate ship, sunken underground, like underwater, like deep down, undead. Just kind of, he's launching into the tales of it all.
The next story.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ignis will stand up without a word and just follow Max. And at this point, it's probably pretty obvious that Max probably spoke to her telepathically, since Buster keeps being spoken to all the time telepathically. Finally happened to somebody else.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen for a long time,
You blew up
actually.
at Max last time it happened because you thought it was your god speaking to you.
So she'll follow Max to wherever he's going with the Commedia mask still.
When they get to kind of a more secluded spot, just again, a little bit away, tucked away, maybe behind some of the tents and stuff.
Lieutenant, Ignis, I feel it is pertinent for me to tell you why I became a monster slayer? May I?
She'll kind of gesture with her shoulders like a shrug, a sure.
It's because I'm terrified of monsters. I had a lot of fear for a long time being a sailor and all the dangers of the sea. This is even before I met my wife. And at one point, my ship was attacked by a monster. Attacked many times by different things, and I always hid. And then, at one point, a very large monster attacked us, what's known as an aboleth, if you will. And everyone hid. And as we're all cowering down there, I realized I needed to do something with my fear. So, I picked up a crossbow, went to the deck, and I faced it. What I'm trying to say is, you asked a question about how do you not feel anything else but the rage or the sorrow that you were feeling. And I have a suggestion. If you're feeling a feeling and you want to get rid of it, it needs to go somewhere.
And he'll reach up very gingerly and take the mask off her face, kind of putting it to the side.
So, you're feeling rage, anger, sorrow. Is that it?
As you remove the mask from her face, the expression on her face now mimics the Commedia mask. That her eyes are red and her face is just sunken and she has just tears streaking down her face. And as he asks if she's feeling rage, she like grits her teeth and nods, even with this tear-stricken face.
Then I do this not as your captain, but as your friend, to give you somewhere to put that anger, to let it leave you.
And he will punch her.
That's a long time coming.
She takes it across the face.
That is a... What do I add to that? Just my strength? That's a 15, actually, to hit?
Listen, in the crunchiness of D&D, that does not hit.
I know.
But
Well, is it just my strength, or is it my proficiency added to it? Like, what do I add to it?
It technically wouldn't do any damage.
I believe you're always proficient with your unarmed strikes.
You're with your unarmed strikes, you're always proficient. So proficiency.
Oh,
plus
then
your-
19, technically.
and it's just 1 point of damage.
that, honestly, if it was still a 15, I think the punch still lands, just didn't do any damage. So I think the punch still
Yeah,
lands.
exactly.
So he does that, and then he looks at her and he goes, speaking telepathically, because he knows that also can tee her off a little bit.
Hit me.
Yeah, she will. She hesitates for a moment, and then she will hit him right in like right to the diaphragm, like just more to not hurt, but it like meant to take the breath away, and just a quick jab to the center of his chest, or a little lower because it's his diaphragm. If you want, that's a 18, 19.
That hits. So yeah,
She'll hit him back.
Max will stagger. Oh yeah,
But she gets
He'll
more than a
stagger back.
1 on that, right? She has like serious punch damage.
And then he'll kind of look up and he'll be like,
You can do it harder than that.
and telepathically,
Again.
Gosh.
She grits her teeth and does it again. This time across the face.
In my head, I just want Max to say out loud in like the Sahuagin language, that awkward language, say hello.
yep.
That's the last time she hit him. That's another 19. That's
Oh, the
that,
callbacks.
that's a lot of this. You're
Yep.
up to like 24 points of damage.
Max will,
Jiminy.
one more time.
So now as he's
Yeah.
bleeding, she'll just right
And
across
yeah,
the
one
face.
more time, Max will just telepathically.
Hard as you can. Ignis.
She falls into a fighting stance and does a series of punching. I'm sure that there's a name for it. I'm not a boxer. A series of blows. You know, that landing blows on him, and almost it starts out slow and almost no damage, and then as it goes faster and faster and faster, she's really punching hard and getting to him. We're like up to 30 something,
Action
32
surge.
points of damage.
Yeah.
Action surge. As it's going faster and faster, it's hitting harder and harder and harder until finally she ends that kata with a cross punch again. And then she just stands there with now bloodied knuckles, both his blood and hers, as she's been punching his scales and punching his armor across, just like heaving breaths.
As Max is kind of recovering himself from it, kind of almost being like, "Oh, what did I sign up for this?" He'll kind of walk up to Ignis and put his hand on her shoulder. For the first time, I think for a long time, he treated Ignis as a rival, as a colleague, as a lot of things. But this is the first time he's viewing her somewhat as a friend. Like a real friend. And he'll just smile and goes, you hit pretty good.
Take what you don't want to feel and let it out. Let it go. That's what I do with my fear. You fight not because you want to feel rage, but because you don't want to feel it anymore. So put it away.
As he's come up to her and she's taking those breaths of exertion, of fighting, and as he's talking to her, she just lets out a primal scream, really, and swings again. But in this, instead of at him, this time it's her. Both of her fists down into the ground, and as she goes to her knees and just hits it on the ground, she just lets all that anger out, and the scream turns to just agonizing sobs, and just starts to weep, and sits almost, I guess, in a child's pose, that fetal position, just weeping onto her hands, and her tears falling down, mixing with the blood, both hers and Max's, on her knuckles as she just cries, and lets that full catharsis of emotion just sweep through her, and for the first time, really allowing that to be that way.
And Max will sit with her. And just like with his hand on her shoulder the whole time.
As you sit with her, Max, and Ignis, you feel that. And we contrast the front of the chalupa stand with a little bit of laughter, talking about the brine banshee and all the craziness that happened, and Chozo chiming in.
And it turns out she had Max's deck of cards.
She called him Maximilian for some reason.
Panning out, looking at the back of the chalupa stand, seeing Ignis actually going through those emotions. We leave this moment, but for a brief moment. That's this episode of I Cast Fireball.
Feelings.
Big feelings. Felt like I took an Ataraxia episode and made it about Ignis. I'm sorry, that was not my intention to spin it around all
What if
the
that
way it
was
spun
Ataraxia's
around.
intention?
What if that was our intention?
I feel like it was a good episode. I got a lot,
for, I think, every
lot from Ned.
moment.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
I know.
With the feels over there.
Ooh. What's that about? You know, our actual selves being reflected in the characters that we portray? What?
Yeah, weird how that works out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That was some pure emotion right there.
Well, folks, thanks for joining us on this week's episode of I Cast Fireball. If you like what we're doing, if you like seeing these players emote at the table, first off, for emoting, and Mickey, Ned, Jacob, Josh, thank you so much for joining and playing with me. But listeners, thank you for following along with this. But if you like all this, leave us a 5-star review on the podcatcher of your choice. We would love to see what your feedback is, or what moments are your favorites, and we could shout you out on a future episode, just like D&D Jockster That's JOKSTER, where their 5-star review just says, wow. They say mere words cannot describe how amazing this podcast is. D&D Jockster, we appreciate that. Thank you. Or you could shoot us an email at icastfireball2020@gmail.com, where we can shout you out on a future episode just like this, where Ezra, we shout you out here, and they say, talking about episode 73 specifically, and they're like, they could not believe what had just happened. Tom said, there was no reason why it couldn't become a dragon. This is when Buster said, we're the astral plane. Can this become a dragon itself? And it did not, as all of you know. And Ezra, great hearing from you. Great that you enjoyed such a funny, wacky moment. But go ahead and shoot us a message or join at patreon.com, where you can see all of the different tiers and get all the bonus extra content as well. And we want to shout out our sister podcast, Improv Tabletop, where they also have a Patreon, where they also have bonus content, and they also have some fun, wacky campaigns going on right now. Their Patreon one, which I just talking about recently, but is still funny to hear about, is...
Yes, help we beat Strahd in our D&D campaign, and now he's back for revenge in real life, and I never get tired of saying that entire just like combination of words all at once.
Go give them a listen, and don't forget to leave them a 5-star review on the way out. Lastly, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends and fellow wacky adventurers. But until next time, I'm Thomas, your DM, and around the table we have...
Lieutenant Ignis Harkon.
Maximus Shuns.
Chozo Lebec and Ataraxia Kalian.
And Buster Bilgewater.
Let's keep that for our own, everybody. We'll see you all next time.